Hey everyone, I'm here at the Environmental Learning Center. I want to show you your final lab for Colorado Wildlife. All right, your last lab of the semester. This is really a combination of the other ecosystem labs that we've done, but it's a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to orient you to the setup that I have here in a minute, but just to get us started, try to find a place that has multiple habitat types. So riparian, grassland, and woodland of some kind. And it could be a woodland like I'm in today, and I'll show you more of that in a minute. Or it could be a coniferous forest stand, whatever you'd like to do. Or you can visit multiple sites and do each of these samples. But essentially, what you're going to do is when you first get to your site, you're going to identify your 3 different zones: woodland, riparian, and grassland per se. And once you're in your zone, right now I'm calling this grassland. Once you're in your zone, you need to just hunker down and listen, watch, and observe. See what animals you see in here. So bring some binoculars if you have them. Watch the birds kind of fluttering around in the sky. In the few minutes that we've been here already, I've seen a great blue heron, and I've seen about 15 deer behind me. You may even see them behind us in some of these shots, we'll see. And a number of small birds, robins, and I've heard several others. So sit for 10 minutes, start a timer, record it. You're gonna record that on your data sheet, just like in previous times. So your data sheet will look like this. And just write everything that you've seen or heard. You can fill in the scientific name later. And then if you, like what your ID type was, okay? So if you just heard it, if you observed it, or if you saw it, all right? So how you observed it, and then what method. So the first 10 minutes, you're just doing the OB for the observed period of time. Okay, after that, you're gonna set up a transect. In fact, you're going to set up 4 transects. So you need to give yourself some kind of a center space. In the lab, it talks about a hula hoop. So you may, it doesn't matter. You can even have your field guides be your center point, or a water bottle or something. If you have some kind of tape measure, use it. That's awesome. But otherwise, again, just rely on your pace. So you're going to have 4 different transects and forming an X, and your data sheet will lay this out. So I have a transect running this way for 75 feet. Kind of get an idea. We put some blue flagging at the end of the line so that you can kind of see it. And it is important to go ahead and pace this out before you get started and mark it somehow, so you have an end point, and it'll help you also stay in a straight line and be more consistent. And then we have 75 feet in this direction. Same idea. We have a blue flagging there kind of at the end of that. So line up your 4 transects before you get started, and then as you go through these transects, you do need to be walking and looking for any kind of sign along that transect. So I will go ahead and do that with you. Okay, we're going to walk this transect, but what I want to show is that, especially when you have this thatched grass, you literally are going to have to kind of be moving this around to be able to see. So just go down your transect line and move and look. We're looking for any kind of scat. We're looking for any kind of anything. So we'll go do this whole line. And anything we see, we'll mark on our data sheet. So, what do we have? It's not a fast process. Gotta take care, and if you come across some sign and you're not sure what it is, take some pictures of it. Make sure you have a ruler or something in your frame so that we have a size reference for it. And post it to the Dropbox so that we can help identify what it is. Okay, as we keep going, just going to keep looking here. And, oh, look at that. We have some scat right there, right? What kind of scat is that, everybody? Looks like a nice summer plop. Multiple pieces there. We've got some deer scat. And we could probably go so far as to say white-tailed deer, since we can see a whole lot of white-tailed deer here, but you really can't tell that just from the... Okay, as we keep going, I found some more scat. This is also small and round, but not deer, right? This would be cottontail scat. So in fact, several little pieces right here. And it's important that you go slow, because this stuff can get easily missed, right? And that's old. If in fact, look, as I dig, I find more, and I'm not digging per se, I'm just getting rid of that thatch to be able to see what's on the bottom. We are recording every sign, even if it's old, right? Because we're really just looking for presence, absence. We're not trying to get a population count or some things that might rely on us having real fresh information. A couple other things I want to point out while I'm showing you to stick your fingers down in this thatch and dig. It's to just, use caution. Rattlesnakes are out at this time of year. There's spiders, of course, and possibly even ticks. So you can't really see the ticks beforehand, but you can sure check for them afterward. But really be careful with the rattlesnakes and spiders that you're not digging in there. You could wear gloves if you're super worried about it. Wearing gloves right now, not such a bad thing to do anyway. Okay, we'll keep going, see what else we get. Okay, we're nearing the end of our transect, and oh, ding, 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 right? Another scat. This would be from a winter pellet drop. Probably some more in here. Yep, there we go. There's the rest of the pile. Usually one little turd is not alone when you're talking about an ungulate or a rabbit. So that brings us to the end. We need to record that information on our data sheet as 1 rabbit and 2 instances of deer. And then while I was doing that, I also heard a red-tailed hawk screech from the sky and call. So I'm going to add that to my data sheet as well. Down on transect 2, kind of pretty similar, but we get right here and my eye caught a few pieces of scat, and the more you kind of push some leaves aside, you realize, oh yeah, it's a pretty good pile. It's actually the biggest pile we've seen so far and the biggest pellet size. Finishing up transect 2, we found about 4 separate piles of deer scat. So we have those all recorded separately for transect 2. I'm gonna not show you transects 3 and 4, but the next part of that is to go around and spend 5 or 10 minutes just searching for scat. With these huge cottonwoods, look at the base of the trees for owl pellets. Look for little caches of dead animals, carcasses, skulls. Look for cavities in some of these older trees. See what you can find. So I'm going to walk around and see if I can find any treasures to show you we've seen so far. So note that darker color with the deer. They just tend to be more browser, so you get that darker color. All right, so finish up your next 3 transects, and then you can move on to part 3 of the lab. Okay, as we keep going, just came across this another little burrow. There is some rabbit scat at the base of that. Doesn't look very active. Leaves kind of blocking it. May have been used at one time for rabbit or snakes or anything else. I'm not going to reach my hand down in there just in case. If we watch this tree, a flicker just flew in to the back side of it, and I have a feeling that it's going to fly out. If you look closely at this tree, you can see there's a couple little cavities or areas where they've been picking a little bit. You can hear some other birds. Oh, there's the flicker. You see him? Right there. Going up the tree. called a red-shafted flicker. A flicker is in the woodpecker family. So he's making use of this old cottonwood and all of the insects that probably live inside of it. Do I sound like David Attenborough? And over here we have a flicker. The flicker is a mysterious animal. It's actually not mysterious at all. Oops, I lost it. So goes my chance for an award-winning nature film. You guys have already figured that out though. And it went all the way up to the tip top of that branch. But if I zoom out, he's probably going to fly off any second. Oh, there he is. See him? Found the tip. Right there. You can see his little black crescent moon just sitting there. Oh, and his friend just flew off. One just flew off. Here he goes. He's gonna launch. Alright, you see him? When flickers fly, they have this undulating flight pattern. It's pretty easy to pick them up. All woodpeckers do, but flickers are our most common woodpecker by far. There we go. Oh, here he goes. Whoa, I missed him. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, I'm in the riverbed, and I think that counts for riparian, right? Now, you don't have to be down in a channel. Next to a channel is great. But if you have a dry riverbed like this, it's an excellent place to look. So you could set up a transect going, along here and both directions. And then you could set up one going in and out of the banks too. So sample the riparian area the same way that you did the grassland. And then spend some time looking around to see if you can find any other sign of wildlife. Don't forget the 10 minutes of observation right when you get here. That's how you get those wonderful spottings of the elusive flicker. Okay, I'm in the river bottom looking for a sign in the explore part, and came to this sandy area which is just ripe with tracks, right? So really good track right here of a deer. Hard to see with the shadow, but you can clearly see the 2 points to the track where he came down. There's another deer right here, and I'm sure as we look around here we're likely to find some other critters besides deer, maybe raccoon, skunk, coyote, fox. I'm sure all kinds of things are using this bed. So I'll spend a couple more minutes looking at the tracks here. Some wet sand here by a mosquito factory. Here's the mosquito factory. Some wet sand here though leads to really nice, well-defined prints. Still only seeing deer, but hey, you know what? At least I'm seeing deer. It's fun to search. One of the keys to this is if you don't look, you're not going to find. So get out there. Oh, here we go, folks. Look at this right there. What do you suppose that is? That, my friends, is a raccoon print. More than likely. Also see some duck print in here too. So keep your eye out. You never know what you're gonna find. Here we go. Look over here. Now you might think, oh, it's a beaver dam. Well, it's not a beaver dam. It's just a log jam. This river, this is kind of the side channel for overflow water. It's pretty dry right now. And this is just years of not having a whole lot to push it down. Actually, this is probably a lot of buildup from the flood of 2013 when this area really did wash. But the reason you can tell it's not beaver dam is because if it was, all of these ends would be chewed to a nice point like beavers do. Okay, folks, I'm going to put my David Attenborough voice back on. If I come up here and I zoom in just a bit, you're going to see one of North America's finest animals. He's getting an itch. Let's see if we can zoom in with my magic smartphone and this high-tech equipment that allows us to get this up-close look at America's white-tailed deer. Oh my goodness, folks. There's the one we were following, but look, there's two more. I know, you all are rolling your eyes right now, but heck, you don't know how many videos I've made this semester, and I've wanted to be David Attenborough in every single one. So thank you on this very last video of COVID-19 semester from you know where for allowing me the opportunity to be David Attenborough. Okay, the other thing is, this is just therapeutic. I'm at the ELC in Fort Collins. I'll show you on a map where that is, but you should just come here. It's beautiful. It's really nice. You can see a lot of animals, and it's right in town. Okay, one last survey in a wooded zone, so you can kind of see, you know, nothing is a huge group, but even just walking through this little bit of a wooded area, I've seen probably half a dozen nests, from squirrels to small birds. And again, you don't have to know what left the sign. The more inquisitive you are, you can try and figure it out. But just start improving those observation skills, and you'll be amazed at the animals that you'll find and the sign that you'll find. So that's pretty much it. Do 4 transects in 3 different habitats. Do an observation in each one. So each one should take you probably a minimum of a half hour. So this is a little bit of a hefty time commitment, but it's your last one. You can do it. All right. See you later.